and welcome to my channel. My name is Elizabeth, and if you are in the middle of menopause or perimenopause madness, then you are in the right place. I did a quick straw poll amongst my friends to ask them, out of the myriad of symptoms that accompany perimenopause and menopause, which one of them bothered them the most. And the thing that came up time and time again was joint pain. With myself as well, this is something that does bother me. So I have created a short video which will bring some movement into the smaller joints of the body, the fingers, the toes, the wrists and the ankles, as well as moving into the larger areas of the body, the spine and the hips. So without further ado, let us get started. Now, I have a little knee pad because along with joint pain, my knees seem to hurt when I kneel down. If you don't have one, then use a cushion or a rolled up blanket, or you can even roll your yoga mat over as well. That helps too. We are going to start lying down on our mats. So bring yourself down onto your back. We're going to keep the knees bent to begin with. So taking your feet about hip distance apart, just be aware of how your spine feels on the floor. Take a couple of breaths in through the nose, releasing maybe through the mouth or through the nose as you settle yourself into this space, wherever you are, whatever time of day it is for you when you are coming to your mat. So just begin by gently swaying your knees from side to side. It's not an excessive movement. It's just a gentle sway. So you might be massaging into the very lowest part of your spine here. There may be a bit of a gap in the mid part of your back where it doesn't fully connect with the floor, and that's okay. We're not trying to force the body into any particular shape. We're just arriving here and just seeing where we are in this moment. Okay, let's find some stillness. And then take our right knee and hug it in towards the chest. And as we do so, maybe circling through that right ankle. Take a breath in, just notice how it feels. And then as you breathe out, maybe we can draw that right knee in a little bit closer. Circling the ankle one way, circling the other. I don't know about you, but there might be a few clicks and cricks and cracks going on through these joints. Let's extend that right leg up towards the ceiling, holding either behind the back of the thigh, the calf, or even just resting your hands alongside the body. And as we do so, we're going to point and flex the foot here. See if you can relax your upper body on the floor. So if you find that your shoulders are rounding in an effort to touch your toes, just see if you can shrug them down, maybe even relaxing your hands alongside your body. Now, as we breathe in, again, we notice how it feels down the back of the leg. My hamstrings feel a little tight, so I've got a bend in my knee. And then as we breathe out, maybe we can encourage a little bit more space down through the back of that leg, but without force. Just let your breath be your guide and just see where you get to today. You can continue to bring movement into your ankle and foot, or you can find some stillness, whatever feels good. And then as you breathe out, we're going to lower that leg down towards the floor and take our left knee in towards us. Same thing this side. Just begin by circling through the ankle. A few times one way and then a few times in the opposite direction. From here, extending your left leg up towards the ceiling. There's going to be a difference from one side of the body to the other, so you might have more or less movement on this side, but that's okay. We're just going to point and flex the foot here. See how it feels. My bones are cracking away today. And then again, as we breathe in, maybe pushing your heel away, and as we breathe out, encouraging a little bit more movement. Excellent. Okay, let's hug both knees in towards us now. Give your spine a good old rock on the floor, and we are going to come up to seated. So you can either roll onto your side or cross your ankles and lift yourself up into a seated position. And when we get there, we're actually going to come all the way over onto all fours, having our wrists underneath our shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Maybe have a gentle bend in the elbows so you're not locking out those joints too much, which can aggravate your bones and your body if you do that. So maybe just a little gentle bend in your elbows here as we move our spine through cat-cow. Do you know what? I'm going to move myself down. I seem to be on a squeaky floorboard, which I better change. Okay, so as we inhale, we're going to lift the tailbone. Allow the belly to sink to the floor. Glide your shoulder blades back and down and gently lift your gaze. So you're getting a stretch with the front of your body. And then as we exhale, we start that movement from the base of the spine, rippling it up through each vertebrae as you take your spine to the ceiling and your chin towards your chest. We're going to move between these two postures. Your inhale is going to open out through the front of your body. Your exhale, we're going to round your spine, stretching through the back of your body. And you can move as fast or as slow as your breath dictates. Maybe even introducing a little sway of the hips, turning your gaze over each shoulder as you move your hips from side to side. Let's just do a couple more. I do like these cat-cows, and if you really focus on each movement, it almost feels like it's like a WD-40, a lubricant through the joints of your body. Moving one way, slowly moving the opposite way. And then we're going to take ourselves into a neutral spine. And by that, I mean keeping your gaze to the floor, maybe keeping your shoulders roughly in line with your hips and having some gentle control through your abdominals. So drawing your belly button in, but not too fierce. We are going to take our left arm and reach the fingertips towards the ceiling. If there's any discomfort in your shoulder joint, obviously don't go too far. And then as we breathe out, we're going to take that arm and thread it through underneath the right. We're not dropping down, we're just reaching through. And then as we breathe in, we are going to unravel and extend the fingers up towards the ceiling. Just a couple of times. Again, slow movements, controlled movements, and just feeling how your bones, your joints, your muscles are working. And then the next time we come down, we're going to land on that left shoulder. So drop the side of your head, the shoulder to the floor, and reach your right arm up. Take this right arm now and wrap it behind your back, relaxing your fingers against your left hip. Now you might find that your hips are swiveling around all over the place. If you can, try and level them off and roll that right shoulder back a little bit more. As we inhale, we reach the right arm back up, stretching all the way through the palm of the hand and the fingertips as well. And then take that hand down to the floor. We're going to unravel, reach up, and then return left hand to the earth. Coming straight onto the other side. So reaching our right arm up. Just think about stretching through the palm of that hand. And then as we breathe out, we take it down. We thread through, but we don't land all the way to the floor. And then as we inhale, we extend and lengthen. And as we exhale, once more reaching through, soft bend in that left elbow. Last time reaching up. And this time coming down and landing on your right shoulder, taking your left arm up and wrapping it behind your back here, opening out through the front of the body, drawing that left shoulder back, leveling the hips. I have no idea what my hips are up to at this point. And then taking your left arm up, hand to the earth, unthread, reaching the arm up, and drop your hand down towards the floor. We're going to sit back onto our heels now. If sitting on your heels with this deep bend in your knees isn't comfortable, then you can come into a kneeling position, maybe have a blanket underneath your knees here if that feels better. Otherwise, we're going to tuck the toes and sit back on the heels. Again, you can do this from kneeling as well, just tucking your toes underneath. So we're stretching down through the soles of our feet. Not the most comfortable position, but as long as there's no pain, just see if you can sit with it. If it feels too much, then obviously come up onto your knees, or you can even lean forwards into your hands, taking a little bit of the weight off. Whichever position you choose, let's stay here for a couple of breaths and bring a little bit of wrist mobilization in as well. So if we interlace our fingers, we're just going to make a few wrist circles going one way and then going the other way. Do you know what? I can't really go the other way. Go one way and then go the other way. Honestly, isn't it a bit like patting your head and rubbing your tummy? Quite difficult. Interlace your fingers and then push your arms out in front of you. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Release your hands. Interlace your fingers now behind your back. Now, if your feet are burning at this point, please feel free to untuck your toes and come into kneeling. Otherwise, see if you can stay there just for a little bit longer as you stretch your arms out behind, maybe even looking up towards the ceiling as you guide your arms at a little distance away from your body. Lovely. Okay, bring your gaze forward. Come up onto your knees. Roll your shoulders, give your toes a little bit of a wiggle as well. We're going to come into a lunge position. So again, blanket under the knees if you need to, or one of these little knee pads. I'm going to place it underneath my left knee and take my right foot out in front. Hands onto your hips, squaring your hips, shoulders over your hips here. Roll your shoulders back and down. Now, without collapsing your upper body, we're just going to lean forward. So we push the hips forward, feeling a stretch down the front of that left leg, squeezing through your left glute as well. Maybe your right knee travels a little bit further forward over your ankle, or maybe it just stays over your ankle. But we push that right foot and the left knee into the floor, and we grow tall through the spine. On your next inhale, bring yourself back and see if you can work towards straightening down the front of your right leg, hinging from your hips. Let's repeat those movements. So we bring a bend back into your right knee, bring your hips forward, find that stretch. And then rock yourself backwards, coming onto the heel of your right foot, straightening through the back of the leg. One more time, we come forwards. Again, slow, controlled movements, being aware of how the body feels and how the body moves. As we come back to center, so we swap the legs over. Again, making a little bit of comfort under your knee if you need to, as you take your left foot out in front. We square ourselves, shift the hips forward. It always feels different from one side of the body to the other, so don't worry about that. We are not symmetrical beings. And then as we come backwards, we turn the toes up. Lovely. Okay, just 2 more times here. Bring it forward. Stay lifted through your upper body. Take it back. Last time, coming forwards. And taking it back. Coming down onto your knees once more as we bring ourselves into a seated position. Now, I might swivel myself round, but to begin with, we are going to sit in a cross-legged pose. In fact, I am going to swivel myself round. Coming into this seated posture. Again, if cross-legged isn't right for you, then we can have legs in front or any comfortable seated posture. As we breathe in, reaching your arms up overhead. And then as we breathe out, taking your right hand over towards your left knee. Take your left fingertips behind you. Grow a little taller. And then as we breathe out, gently twisting over towards the left-hand side. On your next breath, come back to center as we reach the arms up. And then as we exhale, we find that twist on the other side, taking your left hand to your right knee, your right fingertips behind and twisting around. Inhale back to center, reach your arms up and then bring your hands down towards your heart. We're going to take the soles of our feet together now. So this is our last little stretch that we are going to do. So your feet can be as close in or as far away from you as feels comfortable. Use your breath and gravity to soften those knees down towards the floor. And we're not going to find stillness, we are going to bring movement. So just flapping your knees a little bit like the wings of a butterfly, either in time or one at a time, whatever feels right for you. Now I'm going to turn to the side now, just so that you can see the position of my spine. So we are going to fold forward, but we're going to come forward with a rounded back. And that hopefully is going to stretch through the back of our body. So if we tuck the chin towards the chest and just begin to round forward, coming as far forward as feels good, taking your hands maybe to your feet or the floor, and just keep rounding in on yourself. But by having this roundness through the spine and the effect of gravity drawing you down towards the earth, we're feeling a stretch into the bones of your back. And if we stay here for maybe 5 or even 10 breaths, with each exhale, you might find yourself relaxing into the posture. You might find that your bones are feeling a little easier. And over time, it might assist in the movement within your joints. Just make sure that you're not shrugging your shoulders up to your ears or bringing tension into any other part of your body. But as we finish this little stretch class today, just see if you can find some relaxation in your breath. See if you can find a little bit of softness. See if you can find a little bit of stillness with the thoughts that travel through your mind. And just know that these movements that you have done today are going to help your joints and help you travel forward, hopefully with a little bit more ease through your menopausal journey. Okay, let's gently walk ourselves back in. Take a hold of your legs underneath the knees. Draw them back in together, maybe leaning back on your hands as you walk your feet a little bit further forward. And without allowing your head to disappear through your shoulders, just rock your legs from side to side, easing off any tightness that might have crept in by holding that last posture a little bit longer. Thank you so much for watching this video today. I hope you enjoyed it. And if there are any other symptoms that you are feeling with your menopause and you would like me to make a video to help with that, then please do drop me a comment below. And I look forward to seeing you again on the mat again very soon.